In our culture, we tend to operate as though there are only two kinds of men. And I know a lot of women feel this way because they've shared with me. And culturally, it's kind of the way we look at it, the way we talk about it, is that there's this cool guy, this tough guy, this edgy guy, kind of the bad boy type of personality. And then there's this nice guy, this sweet guy, this good guy who would probably be the healthy choice, but he's more vanilla, he's more boring, he's more, he doesn't bring the edge and the excitement and the spontaneity that sometimes we think the bad guy does. But I think something that we really need to acknowledge in our society in the context of having healthy relationships is that there's actually a third kind of guy. And there's actually not just the two types. There's actually a third kind of guy, and I would call this the bad boy and the nice guy. But then I would call this third kind of guy the committed man. And the committed man is in some ways a mix of both, because he's honorable, he's connected, he's honest, he has integrity, he has dignity, he has standards, he does what he says he's gonna do. He would be a good choice to marry, but he also is not a pushover. He's not a weak man, he's a strong man, and he is not gonna allow a woman to walk all over him or allow a woman to just be there whenever she wants to call. And sometimes what happens to the nice guy is they wait around for a woman to choose them, hoping one day the woman will pick them, and she's out hanging out with these bad guys, and he's hoping, well, if I just be the nice guy, if I just be the good guy, if I just constantly show how good I am, one day she'll pick me. And we all know that she usually never does. But what happens sometimes, and I've actually seen this happen a lot in the work I do, is that a woman will mistake a committed man for a nice guy. She'll mistake this committed, honorable man for being a nice guy because he's respectful, because he's honest, because he does what he says he's gonna do, because he's there for her and she feels like she can trust him. And she mistakes that he's a pushover. He's somebody who's not thrilling, not exciting, not spontaneous, not somebody who would bring a lot of excitement to her life. And it's because of her attraction to this bad guy or this more edgy guy that she doesn't see somebody who's treating her with respect for who he is, and she thinks he's this nice pushover kind of guy. And then what I see happen time and time again is she ends up making him wait, thinking he's a nice guy, thinking that he'll always be there, thinking that he's gonna catch her when she falls. And she makes him wait going out with these bad guys. But what happens is he actually loses interest in her, because the act of chasing a bad guy is unattractive. And please understand, I know I'm using gross generalizations here, but I'm just kind of laying out this dynamic that I see happening in relationships. Is she's out chasing these relationships that aren't what she really wants, thinking that this guy, this committed man, is gonna be there, and like a nice guy would, like a nice guy who's a pushover would sit and wait. But then he actually loses interest watching her go through these relationships, and it's usually not until later on that she looks back and goes, oh wow, I didn't see it. He actually was the kind of man I wanted to be with. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think it's really important that we acknowledge there is a third kind of man. It's not just a choice between the bad boy and the nice guy. It's not just a choice between edgy and confident and weak and pathetic and pushover. It's not just a choice between those. That there actually is a man who has integrity, who has dignity, who has honor, who excuse me for being romantic, but he's the knight, like the knight of old who would go to battle and come home and protect his home, protect his family. And he's this archetype of a conscious, loving, strong guy who's also vulnerable, who's also sensitive. But in addition to that, he's not a pushover. He does stand strong. He does expect to be treated in a certain way. He does expect, if a woman is interested in him, that she's gonna let him know that. He will pursue. He will go after that woman. He will try to court her. He will try to impress her. He will try to show her that she is worthy, that she is somebody that he would like to be in a relationship with. But if she doesn't reciprocate that, if she treats him the way she might treat a nice guy, thinking that he's going to be there, he will actually find that unattractive. And it'll actually be a turnoff to him, and he will stop pursuing her. And I think it's really important that we acknowledge this third type of man. And I think women who are looking for a committed relationship, who are looking for a man that they could build a life with, that they could share their dreams with, that they could love and grow with over time, I think this is the kind of man they're looking for.